to your bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you hip in the front, so you get my meals. So I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Coming with a dank, scrolling in a tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping, I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. As you can see, Sam Flannel making his second debut appearance. This time he's in that chair. Easy couldn't make it today. He's dealing with some sick kid at his house, so he couldn't make the appearance on Heavyweights today. But Sam Flannel popped in, and he's going to do the job. How you feeling today, Sam?
Dude, I'm feeling great, man. Like I said, I think you and I, we've done a lot of shows together behind the glass. We're growing up. Isn't it wonderful?
It is wonderful. It's a glow up. You love to see that kind of thing. And the chemistry transitions already. But of course, we've got Chris Platty in the TD booth, as always. And for all of you hyenas in the chat, we have an intern in the sound booth, so be gentle. Introducing Wilbur Jackson. Wilbur Jackson making his first Woodward Sports appearance.
Appreciate you.
Hopefully his takes aren't too bad. Wilbur, don't mess anything up. I noticed you already didn't play music on the intro, but it's all right, you know?
Sorry, dude.
Yeah, you're learning. We'll get there. We got a lot to get into today, folks, so we talked Lions versus Giants offense yesterday. Today we're going to break down the defense. We've got Hutchinson sharing very similar stats with one of the premier edge rushers in the game. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I'm feeling great, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, my prediction for Defensive Rookie of the Year, it doesn't look like it's going to come true so far. But if he's put up stats similar to Myles Garrett this far, what more can you ask for,
You
man,
can't
right?
ask for much more than that.
Nothing more.
In 9 games, the stats are going to be eerily similar, and we'll get into that. Of course, we have one of our favorite segments, By the Numbers.
Oh, yes.
Of the Lions and Giants matchup.
By the numbers set.
Shut up, Wilbur. Don't make me mute your mic. And we have a lot more coming on. But first things first, breaking news as you will. The Bills and Browns are scheduled to play in Ford Field this weekend because Buffalo is expecting upwards of 4 feet of snow. How do you feel about that? What do you think that's going to look like? Does it give the Bills an advantage because they're going to be playing in Ford Field 2 weeks in a row? How do you feel about that?
I want to see them played out in the snow.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's 4, 5, 6 feet. I want to see them play in the snow. It's Buffalo. Their fans would show out for that and live for it because they're crazy. And also, if you're the Buffalo Bills, aren't you kind of building a team that is equipped to play in the snow? I kind of feel personally like that takes away their advantage. But on the other hand, they do have a pretty high-powered offense with Josh Allen and Steph Diggs and Gabe Davis. So maybe being indoors and not being in the snow could actually help them. But I want to see them played in the snow.
I do. I like a good snow game. We saw Central and Western just last night play in the snowstorm. They were building snow fans. It was amazing. But I understand when it's a forecast of 4 to 6 feet of snow, there's not much you can do that inside a stadium. Wilbur, how do you feel about that matchup coming to Detroit? You think you're going to go check that out? I know you're a sports fan.
Oh, God, I'm a big fan of the Browns. Jeez.
Yeah. Wilbur's a big Browns fan. He's a big Deshaun Watson fan. We have a lot to get to, but more interesting news coming out of Lions practice today. We heard DJ Chark was back on the field last night. We heard Romeo Okwara was back with the team, but Josh Reynolds actually practiced.
Oh, yeah.
He got a practice in. He was out there catching routes. What does it mean if Josh Reynolds can play in this game against the Giants?
Well, it means that they have another legitimate receiving threat. The problem is the receiving core has been pretty limited. I would say decimated. When Khalif Raymond is your 2 and Tom Kennedy is your 3, yes, Tom Kennedy is your 3, I think that's a problem. Josh Reynolds, even though he hasn't necessarily been great, he obviously built a chemistry with Jared Goff in Los Angeles, and it's carried over. I mean, he's been probably their second best receiver this season. I mean, not even probably, absolutely has. So just having another threat, that could really help the offense to where they could score enough points to beat the Giants. But we'll talk about that a little bit more.
Definitely, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. Obviously, we have a big matchup coming forward, and a big matchup in the ring was just announced. Javonte Davis is going to be fighting Ryan Garcia. Do you have the graphic for that, young Christopher? This is Ryan Garcia has been killed on Twitter and on Instagram for not fighting anybody important, not fighting anybody big, and just showing out his fake undefeated record. But here he is, going up against Gervonta. It's going to be in Las Vegas in 2023. Wilbur, I know you're a big boxing and fighting sports fan. I know.
Love contact sports.
I know you love contact sports. So how do you feel about that one?
No, honestly, I think for both of them. I mean, boxing, I feel like is died in general just because like these dudes refuse to fight each other, and you finally got a matchup of, like two premier guys. This is one for the makings. We get to see who's that guy for sure, because like everyone builds up the records versus nobody's. I couldn't tell you half the people Gervonta's fought. Couldn't tell you half the people Garcia's fought. So this is dope. This is lit.
Yeah, Wilbur is a notable big Jake Paul fan. So hopefully the loser of that
Got
fight,
his haircut actually,
maybe could fight. Yeah, he styled his hair after Jake Paul. But other than that, we're looking around Twitter today, trying to find some stuff that we could talk about, some stuff to keep it light. And Taylor Swift is on tour. Taylor Swift is going on tour. Some of her tickets are going for $94,000 a pop. Is there anybody at any time that you would ever pay somewhat close to that amount of money to see?
So let me say this. I am the biggest Beatles fan in the history of humankind. And obviously they broke up in 1970. Two of their members are passed. If I could go back in time to 1965 to see the Beatles at Shea Stadium, I still wouldn't pay $94,000.
Yeah.
That is I mean, it's
a house.
Swift. That is a house.
Yes.
It's a salary.
It's a salary.
I mean, not our salary, because we're not living like that. But you know,
that is a salary. That is a check.
You guys are getting paid.
That is something. You watch your mouth, Wilbur. That is a big thing that I can't even imagine spending that much money. I know Wilbur is a big Taylor Swift fan, and he actually bought tickets for upwards of $15,000. So
my dad got them.
Wilbur, would you pay $94,000 to see Taylor Swift?
Naked, maybe, yeah. No, hell no. There's no one I'd pay $95,000 to see. But my dad probably buy tickets because he's super rich and stuff like that.
Yeah, bro, sounds super rich.
My dad's got money. What about you, young Chris?
Young Chris, I know you're a big music fan.
Music idea.
Is there anybody that you would pay $94,000 to see?
No, absolutely not.
No.
I seen Kendrick for 110. That's enough for me.
Facts. That is a little ridiculous. I've never seen that much money for a ticket, and I bet those weren't even standing room tickets. Those were like lower bowl.
Would you pay $94,000? I didn't.
Not a chance. Not a chance. That is just a little ridiculous.
Like Bringing Back Benjamin or something like that. You know, those are good bands too, I think.
Bringing Back Benjamin? I've never heard of that band.
Yeah, or Green Day.
Breaking Benjamin?
Yeah,
Is that what you're thinking of, Wilbur?
Yeah, that's what me and my friends listen to all the time.
Oh, for sure. Well, no, I would not pay anybody.
This guy a mic?
Bringing Back Benjamin.
Yeah, Bringing Back Benjamin. Who gave this guy a mic? But we have a lot more to get into. And another big thing, if Easy were here, I know he'd be losing his mind. But first of all, Ndamukong Suh, Easy's man crush, the man he loves more than anybody else on the planet,
Man.
signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. He obviously wanted to go to a contender. He wanted to go to a team where he could win, where he had a chance of getting a Super Bowl. How do you feel about that? What does that do for the Eagles?
I mean, Jordan Davis, their first-round pick, he's had some injury issues, and even when he is out there, he's not an every-snap guy. So getting a guy like Ndamukong Suh who wants to win, this is what veteran players, they want to go to situations where they can get a Super Bowl.
For sure.
And this Eagles team is an absolute Super Bowl roster. They're a Super Bowl contender. They're looking at maybe getting the 1 seed in the NFC. So if I'm Ndamukong Suh, I am running to Philadelphia. And if I'm Philadelphia, like, that's just another piece. A guy who's been a superstar in this league, a guy who's been an integral part of a Super Bowl team. I think it's a great fit, me personally.
I do too. I think it's a great fit. They're adding. They already have guys like Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham. They're adding a guy in Ndamukong Suh who's been there before. He's done it before. He's won a Super Bowl. He's played alongside guys like Aaron Donald, and he's teaming back up with Darius Slay. I saw Darius Slay send out a tweet saying, "Let's run it. Like, that's my boy. Let's go for it again." And Lions fans might not like that, but it's good to see.
Yeah, I mean, those two are two of the best defensive players in the past 10 years for the Lions, and seeing them have success on other teams, you're happy for them, but at the same time you think, what could have been?
Yeah, if they stayed connected, if Matt Patricia didn't run everybody out of town, even with just Darius Slay,
Yep.
I would be happy. But the combination of them is something that would be crazy. And before the show, I was talking to Wilbur to get some of his takes, and he told me he hates Ndamukong Suh. He thinks Ndamukong Suh is the worst defensive tackle of all time. So, Wilbur, why are you going to be rooting against the Eagles now?
I hate the Dominican suit so much. I'm just so mad he's not in the Lions jersey. That's why he betrayed us, man.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, totally, dude. So we've got a lot to talk about, like I said. But first things first, before we break down the offense matchups between the Giants and the Lions, Sam, with Josh Reynolds possibly playing, I know we've already talked about how this is a very winnable game for the Lions. Does that boost your confidence even more? Do you think the Lions can actually go in there and take care of business, or it's still kind of grasping for straws?
I think they absolutely have a chance of winning. And having a guy like Josh Reynolds, it gives another legitimate wide receiver threat who is a real starter that Jared Goff can throw to. If you just have Amon-Ra St. Brown, you think that Jared Goff might just key in on him. And the Giants' defensive game plan could be, don't let Amon-Ra St. Brown beat us. Mm-hmm. But when there's another legitimate threat like Josh Reynolds, it really opens up a new realm of possibilities for this offense. And this game to me is a pick'em.
This is a pick'em. It's going to be a very close game. I think that can be a deciding factor. Is if you bring in the serpent of death, you bring him back in, give Jared Goff another weapon that can stretch the field. It's not, maybe we're not going to see as much Tom Kennedy. My friend Darius told me Tom Kennedy was going to go for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, but I told him to pump the brakes a little bit. And now that Josh Reynolds is back, hopefully he can be a big piece to that offense. And I saw do you have the injury report? I sent it in Slack. Can you throw that up real fast? There were some strange things on this injury report. There it is. We've got Trinity Benson out, Josh Pascal out, Frank Ragnow back-to-back missed practices. That could be a big thing. Even with DeAndre Swift practicing in full the past 2 days and Jamal Williams back at practice after his illness, Frank Ragnow missing 2 practices is not good.
No, especially if he can't play. Frank Ragnow still is the best offensive player on this team.
Yes.
He's one of the best centers in the league. So if you don't have him, even though I think the Lions have some good depth at offensive line, you need Frank Ragnow. And if Frank Ragnow doesn't play, I don't know if it is a pick'em anymore. I think that it's advantage Giants. That's how big of a deal having a center, a caliber of Frank Ragnow is.
That is for sure. Frank Ragnow is one of the Lions' best players, and if he can't go out there, it's going to be tough. Normally, if you don't practice on Thursday, you're not going to play in the game.
It doesn't bode very well, does it?
No, it does not. Hopefully you can get back out there. But before we go to the break, I just want to appreciate the Woodward Sports Chat for being nice and welcoming our newcomer Wilbur, because the last time we had an intern come in here and his haircut might not have been great, you guys bullied him. You treated him pretty bad. And because of you, this is what happened. This is what happened to our intern John, known lovingly in the chat as Polio J. Look what you did to this kid. Look what you did to him. He ruined himself. He looks like an eraser. It's tough.
Is that real?
That is real.
I mean,
that is real.
It doesn't look bad or anything.
It looks bad.
But I feel bad for the kid.
I feel bad for the kid, too. There were 2 different people that he was expressed as looking like in the back. I don't think I can say them on air. Let's just say they are known groups in prison that people are saying that he looks like now with that haircut. But that's what you guys do to people, all right? Just remember that. So, Wilbur, if the chat starts coming at you, don't take it personally, all right?
I'm never cutting my hair, dude.
Damn.
Dude, Jake Paul has his hair. This hair gives me power, dude. I got power in this boot, dude.
King Horse, right on time in the Woodward Sports Chat, said Polio J went full Stranger Things. Damn. He is looking like 11 up there. I feel
oh my God.
I feel bad for the kid. But before we get too far off topic, Sam, I want you to tell us about Moneyball.
Absolutely, but not the great baseball movie. Check out Moneyball Sportswear. It's your one-stop shop. Whether you want the latest look in athletic apparel or you need new uniforms for your team, Moneyball has it all. Stop in Moneyball's showroom in Southfield and experience the only way to ball. Or visit MoneyballSportswear.com. Join Woodward Sports Network's own Braylon Edwards on Black Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., and you can win some Moneyball swag. Moneyball, the only way to ball.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
The official meat supplier of the Woodward Sports Network is The Butchery. Call 248-682-2697. Yes, that's 248-682-COWS. Or move on over and order online at thebutcherysl.com. Shipping included for Woodward Sports customers. The Butchery, meats, eats, and treats. Sandwiches to die for. Wagyu meats and artisan breads inspired by the legend Chef Dave. Only the best of the best for our meat-loving customers. An old-school butcher shop from a new-school perspective. I told you guys, I'm going to tell you guys again, who else do you trust when you want us to judge your meats other than the heavyweights? So listen to the heavyweights of Chef Dave and go over to The Butchery at thebutcherysl.com. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. I'm Spencer Exter. He is Flannel Sam, the Legend Killer. We have Chris Platty and, of course, the intern, Stupid Wilbur, chilling in the... Wilbur, we call him Wilbur the Dumb. So you can do what you want with that. But yesterday, we broke down the Lions defense compared to the the Giants defense. And now we're going to do the same thing, but on the offensive side. I'm sorry, we did offense yesterday. We're doing defense today. The Lions, how does their defense compare to the Giants defense? First things first, we look at that defensive line. Sam, what is your opinion with the defensive line, the Lions compared to the Giants?
Well, unfortunately for this weekend, it's no comparison. The Giants' defensive line is much better. Leonard Williams is a Pro Bowler. Dexter Lawrence is vastly climbing the ranks of one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL. And Kayvon Thibodeau, I think the Giants are just as happy with him as we are with Aiden Hutchinson as Lions fans. Even though I don't think Kayvon Thibodeau has had quite the season Aiden has, he's still been a damn good player. And then when it comes to the Lions, I think we all like Ali McNeil, but he's not quite the impact player like a Dexter Lawrence or a Leonard Williams. Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson is balling out. Him and Kayvon, it's a little bit of a wash. But then, who's their bookend defensive lineman? I mean, Julian Okwara, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Julian Okwara,
it's kind
Charles Harris, if he plays.
I mean, Charles Harris, he's been a bit of a bust this season. Julian Okwara has came on as of recent, but I don't count on him to have the same impact as like a Leonard Williams. So for me, I think it's easy. The Giants' defensive line, spacebar, spacebar, spacebar. Lions defensive line.
I agree. I look at that. You look at Dexter Lawrence and what he's doing. You said he's vaulting himself into one of those premier pass rushing interior defensive linemen. He's got 5 sacks on the season already. He's got 16 quarterback hits from that inside defensive line position. You look at Leonard Williams. He hasn't played he's been off and on playing. He's been injured a couple games, but like you said, he is a Pro Bowler. He is a guy that you know is going to command a double team, and he's going to get the job done. Thibodeau and... They have a guy on their team named Jihad. So, Jihad Ward and Kayvon Thibodeau as their defensive ends. They use them, obviously, as rushers, but they also use them in coverage a lot.
Yep.
That is one thing I noticed. Brian Dable likes to put these guys out in coverage a lot. Thibodeau has 3 passes defended. Jihad Ward has 2 passes defended as defensive linemen. So you have to be wary of that if you're the Lions and you want to run some of those quick screens, bubble screens to Amon-Ra or DeAndre Swift or something like that. But I'm going to agree with you. I think the Giants take the cake in the defensive line. Wilbur, I know you're a fan of big men. What is your thoughts on this line matchup, Lions or Giants?
Oh, dude, it's not even close, dude. It's the Giants for sure, dude. They're like, I mean, they have one of the best pass rushing fronts in the NFL right now. So it's for sure the Giants.
For sure, yeah. I heard you hate Kayvon Thibodeau, though. You think he's a bust.
Yeah, guys hate, like, if he could just have hair like me, he'd probably look a lot sweeter, but, like, he just doesn't, and I think he's a huge bust. The Detroit Lions made the best decision on passing on him. The Giants made a huge mistake in drafting him, and, like, I don't care how great he is at, like, going into coverage and just switching things up. Dude, look at his hair. That's it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wilbur the Dumb. Next up, we have the linebacker position. Sam, where do you think the Lions linebackers, who have been kind of held under the gun for a while this year, you look at Anzalone, we had some stats earlier this week, but he's still not great. Malcolm Rodriguez practiced in full the past 2 days, so hopefully he'll be back. What do you think about the linebacking core between the Lions and Giants?
I think it's a little bit closer than you might think, because the Lions linebacking core has obviously been under fire. I mean, Alex Anzalone, I would say he's not a real, like, starting linebacker, but he's been okay. He's been better than we expected. Malcolm Rodriguez, as a 6th-round rookie, has been their best linebacker, but not just because of, like, necessity. He's been a damn good player.
Playing well.
And Derek Barnes, he stepped up against the Packers and had one of the best games by Detroit Lions linebacker in probably like 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
And we can see if that, translates moving forward. The Giants, I mean, Jalen Smith, I think he's a guy that is sort of past his prime. He had his due on the Cowboys, but with the Giants, he's been hurt. And then you got Tay Crowder. Tay Crowder's a bit of he's a good player. He's kind of like a tackling machine. He's probably their best linebacker, I would say. Mm-hmm. I would go with the Giants, and here's why. Because the Giants are 9th in scoring defense, and the Lions are dead last. When it's that close, to me, that's the tiebreaker. That's what I'm going to go with, the Giants.
That's fair. I do think this is a coin flip. I think it can go either way. I think the Lions' linebacking core is not great, but neither is the Giants. I agree with you on Jalen Smith being out of his prime. You look at, they've got a rookie in there playing a lot of snaps too, in McFadden in the past couple of games. He hasn't been playing well.
No.
So he's not a Malcolm Rodriguez. I'll just say that.
No, he's not been.
So I think it's a coin flip. Either, what do you wake up feeling better with?
Yep.
I'll give it to the Lions, honestly.
Okay.
Because I think Malcolm is the most talented out of both linebacking cores. And if he's healthy and if he plays, I think he'll be the best linebacker on the field.
And that's fair. And that's kind of, when it's this close, like you said, it's who has the best player out of all of them. And you can definitely argue that it's Malcolm Rodriguez. I think it's either Malcolm Rodriguez or Tay Crowder. But Malcolm Rodriguez has more tackles.
He does. He's been playing great.
Yeah.
Wilbur, you got any thoughts on this one, stupid?
It's Wilbur at the wagon, dude.
All right.
Get your facts straight, dude. No, I think I was listening to Easy like a couple weeks back, and he's like, I don't know if linebackers are as important today as like NFL, and I think this New York Giants defense is an example of that. I mean, you look at those linebackers, you can't really think of like the names too much. They're ranking up there in defense, and then like I even look back at like the 2014 defense. My dad used to have like season tickets and stuff, and like I get like Stephen Tulloch was like, yoked for like a short dude, but like what was he really, And then like next to him, Tahir Whitehead, like linebackers are a dying breed in today's league. Like honestly, I don't even know how to measure their like units of like success on the field. It's like tackles for loss. Like I don't know at this point what are they even doing? Just get a bunch of Kyle Hamiltons in there.
That's fair, Wilbur. I know you are a big fan of Kyle Hamilton.
Jaden Ivey guy too.
Jaden, yeah, you're a big Jaden Ivey guy as well. So we're gonna get more Wilbur takes for sure. But next up, we have the cornerback position. Cornerbacks, I looked at the Giants roster, and these are some guys that have been kind of reclamation projects for this Giants team, and they're showing out.
They're
having good years.
Absolutely.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, with the Giants, it's one of those things where every single player coming into this season that they expected to contribute and start and play well has. Julian Love has had a hell of a year. Adoree Jackson, who was once a Titan, he's a damn good corner. And you got Fabian Moreau and Xavier McKinney. That's a pretty good secondary, I would say. And the difference between the Giants and the Lions secondary is our starting safety, Tracy Walker, done for the season. Amani Oruwariye has been an absolute disaster. Jeff Okudah's played very, very well. Kirby Joseph, the past 4 weeks, I think has been one of the best rookie defensive players in the league, last week notwithstanding. So for that reason, I'm going to go with the Giants because they have a real starting secondary with all of the players they expected to contribute playing damn well. And the Lions, half of them are basically giving you nothing. Tracy Walker because of injury and Amani Oruwariye because of poor play.
I agree. I think secondary-wise, you go with the Giants. You look at, like you said, Adoree Jackson, Fabian Moreau. These guys are letting up 50% or 53% completion percentage. Fabian has 8 pass breakups. Adoree Jackson has 7 pass breakups. These guys are playing great. They're playing very well. You look, I think Okuda is the most talented. He is the most lengthy. Obviously, he's the biggest out of all of them. But Fabian and Odori are playing on a very high level. I think Kirby's a little better than Julian Love. Julian Love's a better tackler, but Kirby has made more splash plays in 3 less games. He has two forced fumbles, 2 interceptions, and 4 pass breakups, while Julian Love only has 1 forced fumble, 1 interception, and 2 pass breakups.
Yeah, the ball doesn't seem to find Julian Love quite like it does Kirby Joseph. I think they're different kind of players. With Julian Love, it's more the consistency. He's done it all year, whereas Kirby Joseph, at the beginning of the year, he wasn't even on the field. And when he was, he got burnt.
I agree.
And even in the last game, he got burnt. So I want to see Kirby Joseph do it for put together a string of good football, which he did.
Yeah.
But he needs to start another one after last week against the Bears.
Yeah, we kind of need old head Kirby, to step up. We need Packers Kirby to step up. We don't need young Kirby making mistakes like he did in the Bears game. That's for sure.
Packers Kirby. That's one of my favorite players in the NFL.
Yes.
Green Bay Packers Kirby Joseph.
Green Bay Packers Kirby Joseph is a starter on every team.
It's very Ed Reed-esque.
You said Ed Reedian.
Ed Reedian, yes, that's the new word.
Wilbur, hey, look over here, stupid.
Sorry.
How do you feel about these secondary matchups?
So I think the Giants have I got eyes here and easy. That the handsome dude that sits in Sam's chair usually.
Yeah, he's kind of ugly.
He's got great dimples and teeth. Nice bone structure. But either way, dude, just things I noticed about him. That's all I'm saying. The Giants have a very opportunistic secondary. I think Adoree Jackson's having a great year. If you look at them in just terms of around the league, passing they're ranked 17th, and defense overall, I'm pretty sure they're 9th or something like that.
Yeah.
So a very opportunistic defense, and it's working out for them. They blitz a lot too.
They blitz a lot. They play a lot. You have to be good on the back end if you're going to blitz at the level they do. You have to have confidence in your corners and safeties if you're going to blitz on the level they do. So overall, I don't think it was kind of even a question who had the better defense overall. I think we would all say, obviously, it's the Giants. The Lions have been struggling on that side of the ball, to put it lightly.
I mean, unfortunately, the Lions still have the worst scoring defense in the NFL. You look at some of their individual pieces we're really excited about, but, man, it's still sobering to hear that.
They still got to put it together. But I feel like they have as of late. The past 2 games they've played good. The idiot that normally sits in that seat screams defend the Glenn. I know Wilbur hates Aaron Glenn. And so tell us about that one, man.
Yeah, just fire him already, dude. What is he doing, dude? He has all these young people who he can just mold into stars right away, and he does it. And look at his hair. Another thing with the hair, dude. The Giants, look at them, dude. They're killing it. And I want to say real quick, opportunistic secondary, Giants are 6th in turnovers this year, too.
Yeah,
dude.
They're making plays happen. They have a lot of guys with multiple turnovers on that team. They have a lot of guys with interceptions. They have, 1, 2, 3, 4 forced fumbles out of those starting 4 defensive linemen that I've listed. So those guys get home, and when they get home, they punch the ball out. So Jared Goff might need someone to protect him in that pocket. We know he's got Penei Sewell and Frank Ragnow, but he might need a guardian.
Yep.
And if you need a guardian, all you have to do is call Guardian Alarm, because Guardian Alarm keeps you safe and gives you peace of mind, whether you're at home or on the road. With their 24/7 local monitoring, they will make sure the things that are important to you stay safe. All you have to do is call 1-800. That's 1-800 right now, and let them know Woodward Sports sent you. We are the Woodward Heavyweights and Wilbur the Stupid. We'll be right back.
Thanksgiving is all about family and friends. That's why Woodward Sports wants to send you and your crew front row for the Thanksgiving Day football game.
Easy there. Hey, it's Thanksgiving. Shouldn't you be in Detroit losing a football game right now?
That's right, you and 3 people that you're thankful for sitting in row number 1. So close you can hear the action, smell the excitement, and taste the glory of Detroit football. All you have to do to enter is retweet or share our post on Twitter and IG, and tag 3 of your friends or family. If all 3 of those people are following Woodward Sports too, and we pick your name, you and your crew will all get the best seats inside Ford Field. So hop on Twitter and Instagram and tag your crew. And we'll see you Thanksgiving Day at Ford Field. Brought to you by Lady Jane's and Custom Health Centers.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
What's going on, everybody? It's Custom Health. You know what it is. And look at this guy. This is what Ryan Romani used to look like. He used to look like Wilbur the Whale. And now he's looking trim. He's looking slim. He's out there up here every day with Braylon Edwards doing his thing, and it's all because of Custom Health. Custom Health helped this man lose 15 pounds already, and they can do the same for you. So you're not walking around looking like Wilbur. Call them now at 844-789-8446. That's 844-789-8446. Custom Health Centers is here to help. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the WoodwardSports.com website. Live, we are the Woodward Heavyweights. Sam Flannel filling in for Easy because, he had to, go give away turkeys in the hood like Nino Brown. I am Spencer Agster. We have Chris Platty, as always, in the TD booth. And
Chris Pratt.
Intern Wilbur Wembanyama in the audio booth. So we just got done talking about who fares better, the Lions defense or the Giants defense. It was kind of consensus that the Giants defense better, especially that defensive line.
100%.
The defensive line is great, but a piece on the Lions defensive line, probably the biggest piece on the Lions defensive line, somebody you love, Michigan man, their number 1 draft pick this year, Aiden Hutchinson. He's caught in a lot of slack. People were calling him a bust. People were saying he can't do it after 4 games into his NFL career. But when you look at the stats, Aiden Hutchinson, through 9 games in his NFL career, his stats are eerily similar to Myles Garrett. Through 9 games, Aiden Hutchinson has 5.5 sacks. Myles had 5. Aiden Hutchinson has 28 pressures. Myles had 32. Aiden has 18 hurries. Myles had 17. Aiden had 28 total tackles, and Myles had 27. You look at that, the Lions' edge is looking special, and that is correct. This is a high bar to set. Are you in the camp of believing that Aiden Hutchinson could possibly be a player to the caliber of Myles Garrett?
I mean, it looks like, at least so far throughout his career, that maybe he could be. And I have another crazy stat, not just about Myles Garrett. You ever hear of a guy named J.J. Watt? He's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Pretty generational.
Pretty good, yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson so far this season has as many sacks as J.J. Watt did his entire rookie year.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. But back to Myles Garrett. It's worked out pretty well for Myles Garrett. He was a number 1 overall pick. He's obviously become one of the best pass rushers in the NFL, one of those game-wrecking guys.
For sure.
And Aiden Hutchinson, I would also count myself as somebody who had a few doubts at the beginning of the year. But you also have to remember what he was asked to do. He was asked to come into a very, very bad defense and be their best player right off the bat. And so far this year, I wouldn't say he's been their best and most consistent player, but he seems to have figured it out. And I would say that so far, he has done everything that's been asked of him. In all 3 of the Lions' victories, Aiden Hutchinson played a big part in making them happen. He had 3 sacks versus the Commanders, a huge goal line interception against the Packers, and against
great play too.
Yeah, absolutely. And against the Bears, he had that tackle of David Montgomery where he just flew. He had a huge sack when the Bears were going down, all
sure.
they needed was a field goal. That sack changed it from 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 8 to 3rd and 15.
Yeah.
Basically, that's all she wrote. And then on that big pick six by Jeff Okudah, who was the one that kind of forced that throw?
I believe it was Aiden Hutchinson.
It was
I do
Aiden
believe.
freaking Hutchinson.
Yeah.
And not only in the wins, he played pretty well against the Cowboys.
He did. He had a good game. We talked about, obviously, that first stretch of the season, those first 4 games, it was kind of rough.
Yes.
You look at that first half of the Commanders game, and you saw that, and you're like, damn, this kid can be real special if he can bottle that up, if he's not making the mistakes anymore. And he's learning from those mistakes. You talk about him getting that interception where he dives backwards. He makes a great catch, a very athletic play. You talk about him forcing the pick six on Justin Fields, where he's learning from what was the big criticism early in the season.
He's over-pursuing.
He's over-pursuing. He doesn't read anything. Undisciplined. He's learning from that. He's making disciplined plays. He is not over-pursuing on screens, and that led to not only one interception by him, but caused a pick six for the team. So you love to see it. I think Myles Garrett is a generational type pass rusher, so I don't want to go that far just yet. I'll need to see a little more consistently. But the stats are there. The athleticism is there. I wouldn't be surprised. I'll put it at that.
I mean, that's why I was hesitant to say he's the next Myles Garrett, because Myles Garrett is a freak. He is absolutely generational, one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. I don't even know if I need Aiden Hutchinson to be Myles Garrett, but if he's mentioned in the same ilk, I mean, we as Lions fans will be doing backflips, and we'll be like, praising Brad Holmes to the heavens for making the right pick, which I already believe he has.
I agree. I agree totally. I think he has proven that he is the right pick. The way he bounced back from the early kind of stumble, he bounced back and he shows that he can do it. He can do it in different ways. He can adapt his game and learn from his mistakes. And in the Woodward Sports chat, we see Troy saying Nick Bosa won Defensive Rookie of the Year with 9 sacks.
That's very true. But Nick Bosa, he's another one that's his rookie season was. I mean, the 9 sacks do not tell the whole story.
Nick Bosa had 16 pressures in one game this year.
Yeah, like Nick,
single game.
Like, I love Aiden Hutchinson as much as the next person, but don't mention his rookie year in the same breath as Nick Bosa's. He was dominant from day one.
Also, they didn't have Sauce Gardner in that draft class. Like, Sauce Gardner he has to be getting burnt every game for the rest of the year if he's not going to win Rookie of the Year. The guy's playing lights out.
But, okay, what if?
Put on your tinfoil Wolverine helmets, everyone.
There we go. There it is. But what if, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, what if Aiden Hutchinson actually gets the 12 sacks that I predicted before the season? Can he re-enter the race to actually possibly win it over Sauce Gardner?
If he gets 12 sacks, he's going to win it. Yeah. I think it'd be hard for me to say a guy with 12 sacks, which is very close to the rookie record, is not Defensive Player of the Year.
And guess what? If Aiden Hutchinson gets 12 sacks, I firmly believe that the Lions will have won 7, 8, or 9 games. I'm not predicting that they will, but if he plays that well, I mean, you see how the team plays and the defense plays when Aiden Hutchinson is doing well. I mean, he is the engine, and that's what you want from your number 2 overall pick. You want to impact games the way Aiden Hutchinson has, impact wins. He has impacted 3 wins already. I mean, 3 wins isn't great for 9 games, but in all 3 of those wins, Aiden Hutchinson played a big part in that, and that's what you wanted from him.
For sure. And in the Woodward Sports chat, we have Stop It saying, Detroit fans are such homers. You guys already have Hutch in the Hall of Fame. Well, first of all, stop it. Stop it. Get some help. Because nobody was being a homer here. We simply put up the stats, and stats don't lie. The numbers were very similar to Myles Garrett. We both said we kind of want to pump the brakes on he's going to be that good talk, but he can be very good. There you go, stop it. If you missed it, read that and tell me that's a homer take. Tell me saying Aiden Hutchinson through 9 games is the same as Myles Garrett through 9 games. Tell me that's a homer take when you look at those numbers.
No, you can't. It's literally just by the numbers. And honestly, one of the reasons we show
the numbers.
That's right.
Thank you, Wilbur.
Thank you, Wilbur. One of the reasons that we show graphics like that is for the people who maybe have their doubts about Aiden Hutchinson, who were calling him a bust 4, 5, 6 games into his career, just to show how good Aiden Hutchinson actually has been. Has he been consistent throughout the whole year? Absolutely not. But you can also point to where he has figured it out. I would say after the Cowboys game and on, he's been damn good.
Yes, he has been very good. He's been one of the best players on that defense since that game. And Wilbur, I know you're a big Aiden Hutchinson guy. I know you think he should have been number 1 overall in the draft. What do you think about his performance so far?
First, dude, great hair. All right, dimples, bone structure. Aiden has it all, dude. If I'm just throwing those type of things out there, but to be quite honest with you, I think we do need to pump the brakes a little bit. Myles Garrett is a bit of like an extreme to compare him to, but I have no doubt. I could certainly say that Aiden's special. He's showing instincts, on the field instincts, that I don't think anybody had in their draft report coming out of like this year's draft. So like Aiden for sure is a piece. And I love, too, that he's a hard worker. I think that's the type of like leadership you need to have in there if you're going to have a guy that's going to be your guy. I mean, the dude's a dude, as my guy Spencer would say.
Yeah.
And
I'm not your guy yet.
Special, dude.
No.
All right, dude.
Don't get too comfortable, Wilbur. We just met.
Oh, my God, dude.
But, yeah, there's going to be a lot going into it. And I think Aiden Hutchinson can be the best pass rusher out of this class. I don't think that's being a homer. I don't think that's asking too much. I think Aiden Hutchinson has shown the ability to do that, and I think he's proven it so far this year.
I mean, that's absolutely not a homer take. I mean, even so far this year, I would say he's been the best pass rusher, and I would say his competition thus far, you got Trayvon Walker, but I think his main competition has been Kayvon Thibodeau. And what did I say the other day? It's not all about sacks, but it is a little bit about sacks. And Aiden Hutchinson has 5.5, and Kayvon Thibodeau has 1. That matters.
5.5 is more than 1 the last time I checked.
5.5 times more. Yeah. Like more than 5 times more than 1.
I'd agree with that. And if you want more than 1, just go to Big Boy, because you can get 2. You can get 2 burgers, because all new burgers and loaded fries are back at Big Boy. It's not the Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease, and guess what else is new? The bacon. Blue, how about upgrading those fries? They got chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, and nacho fries. Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Markets, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
If you are as white as Wilbur's hair, you need to go to Chili Peppers Tanning. Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Spotless, sanitized rooms with trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals where they beat all competitors by $5.
$5?
$5, Spinny. Wilbur, not you. Don't forget to pick up Australia Gold, Designer Skin, Caltan, and Swedish Beauty Lotions. ChiliPeppersTanning.com, the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters, 27 locations, and more. Coming soon.
Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights, live on WoodwardSports.com. I am Spencer Raxter. Of course, I'm joined by the esteemed Flannel Sam, the legend killer, who was killing some legends today. Don't slander Anthony Davis in the presence of Flannel Sam. If you guys didn't watch BDE today, you should go check it out, because this man Flannel Sam took the headphones off, threw them into the ground. He was very heated.
It was more out of exasperation. I mean, Neil, Rule, and Stick, they just know how to push buttons like nobody else here. It's not even close. I even talked to Stick afterwards, and he's just like, I knew that would trigger you. And I'm like, damn it, it did.
He did. That's all right. You know, you came to me after the show, and you're like, how do you not just blow up? I blew up yesterday. I blew up on Neil yesterday. You blew up on him today, so we kind of vented our frustrations in BDE this week, but that's always good.
But you know what? Now we're on the heavyweights, and we can just, like, have a conversation. We don't need to be antagonized and everything. It's wonderful.
Best show, bro.
I think it's the best show.
Yeah, Wilbur, you've been a big fan of heavyweights for a while, right?
Oh, for sure, dude. Like, I actually go to Chili Peppers Tanning because of them.
Yeah.
And like changed my life, dude. Heavyweight's the greatest show out, honestly.
Appreciate you, Wilbur. Don't slob my proverbial knob too hard, all right? You're still just an intern. But, of course, we've got Chris Platty in the TD booth. And here comes one of our favorite segments for the week. It's been a long time since we've done this. By the numbers, Wilbur.
By the numbers.
There you go. I know you're a big fan of this, Wilbur, and
Thanks,
Sam Flannel. You said you like this. You're a big numbers guy.
I am.
So I know you like this one. I'll start it off first. Wilbur, can you drop us a beat? Do you know how to do that yet?
Yeah, I'm just gonna hold on 1 second here, dude. Just gotta. Hold on,
it's not that high. There you go.
No, it's kind of lame.
There we go.
By
the numbers. All right.
This is it, dude.
Wilbur, shut up. First number we're going with is 31. I've talked about this before. I said it earlier in the week. And by the numbers, Daniel Jones has rushed for 31 first downs this year. So, to get off the field is going to be imperative for the Detroit Lions defense against this New York Giants team. And to do that, they're going to have to pay attention to and account for Daniel Jones on third downs. I wouldn't mind seeing Malcolm Rodriguez used as a spy for Daniel Jones on third down.
I mean, 31 first downs on the ground by a quarterback for a defense, that is demoralizing, that is killer, and that cannot happen in this game if the Lions have any chance. That's a good one. I've got a good one too, by the way. By the numbers. 67. That is the average number of rushing yards that Saquon Barkley has rushed for in the Giants' 2 losses.
Okay.
Because throughout this year, Saquon Barkley has over 900 rushing yards. He leads the league in 9 games. And one of the things that we've said is that in order to beat the Giants, the Lions have to at least not let Saquon Barkley run wild. And you've seen that in 2 games in which he hasn't, the Giants have lost. So it's proof that if you can contain him to some degree, you can beat the Giants.
So Flannel and Spencer's keys to success: take care of Daniel Jones on third down and contain Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
A lot of them in the rushing attack. Wilbur, do you have a number you like?
Yeah, I just real quickly, I think it's funny that like Flannel Sam's number is 67, and it's related to the 2 losses that the Giants have had. If you add 67 plus 2, it's 69.
By the numbers.
By the numbers. But honestly, dude, by the numbers, my number's 20. All right, dude? The Giants have scored on an average 20 points per game in their 9 games this season, ranking 22nd in the league. Meaning you have to score more than 20 points to beat them, dude. The Detroit Lions have only scored over 20 points 2 times in their last 5 games, dude. A little bit of a concern for me, the offense and that Jared Goff, dude. I'm a big Jared Goff guy, though, by the way.
Okay.
But just quite, they need to pick up the pace on the offense, in my opinion.
I know you're a Jared Goff believer. You watch Detroit Lions Forum a lot.
It's my favorite show, dude. That guy's so is a bone structure. Oh my god, dude.
Chris, do you have any numbers, or do you want me to save you for last? You don't have any numbers? No. Okay. My next by the numbers are 5 and 2. In 2 games against the New York Giants in his career, Jared Goff has 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So it's not great that he has 2 interceptions in 2 games, but the ratio outweighs itself. We need Jared Goff to perform on that level if we want to win this game.
I mean, honestly, would you take 2 or 3 touchdowns and 1 pick from Jared Goff this week?
I would.
If you could hand pick that for me, I absolutely would take that. So that's big. I mean, it shows that Jared Goff has experience versus the Giants, and going to MetLife is never an easy place to play.
Never.
And Jared Goff is going to have to make some plays for the Lions to go on the road and pull that upset. By the numbers.
By the numbers.
By the numbers.
All right. By the numbers, I've got one. 27. 27 is the season high in points that the New York Giants have scored. And what does that tell you? That tells you that their offense is not is not great. And when a team doesn't score, that means that they don't blow anybody out. And the last thing the Lions want to do is go to New York and just get buried right off the bat. But that's not what the Giants do. They're more methodical. They win with a run game.
I agree.
And for me, that's a recipe for the Lions. If you're an underdog, the thing you want to do the most is hang around and let the Giants make mistakes. And the fact that their season high is 27, I think that bodes well for the Lions' chances.
I agree. I think this is going to be a game. Both teams want to establish the run in this game. Both teams 100%. Are going to want to use that for their advantage. And yeah, I agree with you on that one. Wilbur, do you got another number? Can you count higher than 3?
Listen, dude, Jenna Newman, I see you in the comment section, and you asked if we could turn down. I just wanted to say, turn down for what, dude? That's all I wanted to say. But by the numbers, dude, I have 45, dude. The New York Giants blitz 45.5% of the time, ranking them number 1 in the league.
He's going through every white accent you can think of.
And they're doing just fine. No, honestly, dude, they rank first in the league in blitz. And if we're being quite honest, Jared Goff isn't the greatest against the blitz. And, like, he got sacked twice last week against the Chicago Bears, who ranked 29th in the league in sacks on blitzes.
By the numbers. Bro.
And, dude, Frank Ragnow might be out.
Shaw, bro.
Might be out. Dexter Lawrence.
Shaw.
Leonard Williams. Kayvon Thibodeau. Stupid hair. Dangerous for that.
That's fair.
Dangerous.
That's fair. I like your numbers, Wilbur. Shaw.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Yeah. I have another.
By the numbers, dude.
I have another by the number that plays into Sam's points.
Sam's what, dude?
It plays into Sam's points. 133.2. That is the number of rushing yards the Giants allow per game. So by the numbers, they're not great at stopping the run. And although I don't want to talk about what the Lions let up on the ground per game, that we're talking about the Giants here. We're talking about the Giants. Let's not get it twisted. The Giants let up about 134 yards per game on the ground. The Lions need to take advantage of that with hopefully a healthy DeAndre Swift that gets more than 4 touches per game.
Yeah.
Hopefully Jamal Williams can break off a couple runs. We saw Justin Jackson look pretty good in some of his usage. So the Lions will need to get that run game started, and the Giants are a team that has been kind of exploited on the ground so far this year.
Yeah, and that's something that the Lions can exploit, especially with their dominant offensive line. Hey, I like this by the numbers. I'm talking myself into maybe picking the Lions, but we'll get to there later. I have a by the numbers, which is eerily a segue from yours. And I kind of alluded to this yesterday. I got 2 numbers, 857 and 11. Wow. That is the combined rushing yards of Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift, along with their combined rushing touchdowns.
Okay.
When we talk about rushing attacks, we talk about Saquon Barkley. He's obviously been the best running back in the league. He's been absolutely awesome and dynamic. But the Lions got a running game, too.
They do.
Jamal Williams has had a hell of a season. He's been RB1. And DeAndre Swift, a lot of that was first game loaded, but still, 857 yards and 11 touchdowns in 9 games behind that offensive line. The Lions can run the ball. And piggybacking off of your numbers, the Giants don't stop the run as well as you might think. So
I agree.
This is a game in which the Lions, I believe, can exploit the Giants' weakness with their strength.
I agree. We might see a very quick game.
Yes.
This might be one of the fastest games in the NFL this year because both teams are going to want to run the ball a lot.
2 hours, 35 minutes.
Just blaze through it. Wilbur, stop being stupid and tell me a number.
Blaze through a lot of things, dude. 1-800-Jenny-Craig, bitch. That's the number for you. In all honesty, dude. In all honesty, dude, my number is 4, dude. Jared Goff is 4th in the league in turnovers. He's also 4th in the league in interceptions. Funny enough, 4 of those interceptions come when teams are rushing more than 4 players at a time, dude. Like I said, Giants ranked number 1 in the league in the blitz. They blitz the most. Jared Goff doesn't do well against the blitz. My number's 4. 4 of his 7 interceptions are when people are rushing more than 4 people, dude. 444, big Jay-Z fan too, dude.
444, big Jay-Z fan. Yeah. There's a lot to go over on that for sure. But real quick before, shout out to I don't want to butcher his name, but I'm going to. Andreas Nunya. in the Woodward Sports chat, watching live from Cali, man.
Oh, yeah.
Heavyweight's got fans everywhere. Heavyweight's got fans everywhere.
Different area codes.
Different area codes. We got fans.
Fans.
Fans,
I
bro.
got fans.
Wilbur, you can't talk to fans like that, you idiot. All right, and Chris, you've been quiet today. Give me a number. Give me a final number for By the Numbers.
By the numbers. Over. I'm taking the over.
Idiot.
Good help's hard to find these days, people. We got Chris and Wilbur, and they're doing what they can. But that'll do it for our By the Numbers segment. It's one of our favorite of the weeks. I love that.
I love that
Sorry,
segment.
I'm stalling so I can find my read. But let me tell you all about The Butchery. The Butchery is the official meat supplier of the Woodward Sports Network. You can call 248-682-2697. Yes, 248-682-COWS. Or move on over to thebutcherysl.com, shipping included for Woodward Sports customers. The Butchery, meats, eats, and treats. Sandwiches to die for, Wagyu meats, and artisan breads inspired by the legend Chef Dave. Only the best of the best for our meat-loving customers. An old-school butcher shop from a new-school perspective. How many times do I got to say it? Trust our meats. Our meats are the best meat. So make sure you go check them out at thebutcherysl.com.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Time to talk about Swiss. No, not Hammond Swiss, but Swiss Insurance Group. Swiss Insurance Group and their employees are heavily involved in their community. It is very rewarding, but comes with great responsibility. If you sit on a local youth sports board, homeowners association, or a volunteer coach, directors and officers insurance is a must. Make sure the kids, parents, and volunteers are protected. Call Swiss Insurance today.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for joining us on WoodwardSports.com. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. I am Spencer Raxter. Flannel Sam joining me because Easy's, I don't even know what he's doing. I think he's like donating semen or something. I don't know. But we have Chris Platty in the TV booth. And we have young Wilbur, our intern, who's really stupid and ugly. In the audio booth, but he's doing his best. Next up on the docket, we saw something in the last game the Lions played against the Chicago Bears that we haven't seen since 1993. The Lions came back from a 14-point or more fourth quarter deficit for the first time in a game since 1993.
Unbelievable.
Against the Chicago Bears last weekend. Is this something you can start to expect out of this Lions team? Can we expect them to score in the second half? Can we expect them to play defense like that in the second half of ball games? Or is that just a fluke and we're going to see more of what we saw in the beginning of the year?
I mean, we can definitely expect the Lions to play defense in the second half and score. The one thing that you don't want to make a habit of is being down 14 going into the fourth quarter, because show me a team that makes a habit of that. Show me like a 4 or 5 win team. What the Lions did that I was impressed with is they took advantage of the Bears just absolutely imploding. I know a lot of people don't remember this now, but Jared Goff threw what looked like was the game-ending, well, not game-ending, but basically that was the end of their hope interception.
Yeah, that's for
but
sure.
Trinity Benson sacrificed himself for the Lions by drawing that hands to the face.
He throated that dude's fist.
Dude, it was like a like a throat punch.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I mean, it looked like Trinity Benson died, and it's like, what happened? But you know what? He got that 15. He got the Lions a chance to get the ball back in the red zone, and DeAndre Swift went down and scored right after. And they also took advantage of a young quarterback making a rookie mistake, throwing a terrible interception. I mean, it was a great play by Aiden Hutchinson and Jeff Okudah, but you cannot throw that ball if you're Justin Fields. But
you got to throw it out of bounds at least.
But what the Lions do, they took advantage. Jeff Okudah caught it, ran it back, intercepted it, ran it back for a touchdown, tie game.
Yeah.
What also impressed me too was the Lions' resilience. Because right after that, what did Justin Fields do?
Ran for 64-yard touchdown.
For a back-breaking, or what seemed like a back-breaking
64. It really did.
It really did.
That's the point of the game where you're watching the Lions game, you're like, well, so much for this. It was fun while it lasted.
But right after that, what did the Bears do? They missed the extra point. And I don't know about you, but I was kind of like, okay, maybe we got a chance.
Okay.
But what did the Lions do eventually? They drove down for a 91-yard touchdown drive and got the game, what turned out to be the game-winning touchdown, and then they made that big stop on defense where they sacked Justin Fields twice. And Justin Fields is a hard man to get on the ground.
He is.
So do I want the Lions to make a habit out of trailing by 14 in the second half? Absolutely not. But was it a damn good sign that they were able to come back and take advantage of another team imploding when it's usually the Lions that implode? Great sign. I love seeing it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That is a good point that I didn't really think of when I was writing the topic. Was good teams aren't going to be down by 14 in the fourth quarter.
Right.
If you're a winning team, you're not going to be down by 14 in the fourth quarter. But like you said, the Lions, I said this, I believe, on Monday, that was the least Lions game I've ever seen them play.
The Bears turned into the Lions.
The Bears out-Lions the Lions. Like, they went out there and they made the same sacrificial, self-destructive decisions that you normally see the Lions making, the pick six in the third quarter, missing the extra point, allowing the team to claw back into it when they should have been putting the dagger in their neck. Dagger time, but
dagger time.
I agree with you. It is a lot of, I don't want to say hope that they can be resilient, but it's good to see them win a game like that.
It showed they were able to do it. It was their first road win under Dan Campbell. It was a lot of the players, the young Brad Holmes draft picks' first road win in the NFL. I mean, it was absolutely huge. And like I said before, it was the Bears who were making all of the mistakes. It wasn't the Lions. I remember watching the game, and when the Bears would make a good play, I'd be looking for the flag, and it would come magically. It was unbelievable. And it's like, I've seen that movie before, like watching the Lions, but it was the Bears who were doing it, and the Lions were the one that took advantage.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe some old Lions teams would have dropped that potential interception, would have not driven it down 91 yards to win the game. So it's not just that the Bears imploded, which they did. The Lions were opportunistic and took advantage and got that road win. And now we can, as Lions fans, talk about maybe them doing something. Yeah. Unbelievable.
And another thing that Lions fans are used to seeing, the Bears missed the extra point. The Lions went down there and they scored to get the lead, but there was still time left.
Yep.
And it was still Justin Fields out there. And you're expecting, all right, here it is. Justin Fields going to drive them 60 yards down the field. They're going to kick a field goal and win with the clock expiring. Yeah. But no, the defense stepped up. Julian Okwara, Aiden Hutchinson, those guys Josh Pascal stepped up. They made plays when it counted. Like you said, that guy just feels slippery. He's a hard one to get on the ground. And they got him on the ground twice to win the game.
I mean, we all were Dan Miller at that point. Like, get him because it was still in peril. I remember on that 4th and 8 play where Julian Okwara eventually got the sack. Justin Fields eluded three people, and then he was there with the ball, and we were all just like, oh crap.
Yeah, that's the type of play when you're a Lions fan watching that. You have Alex Anzalone miss. You have Julian Okwara miss. You have someone else miss. And then he spins out and he finds somebody open down the field for 40 yards.
No, I figured like Darnell Mooney was running free somewhere, but he wasn't. And Julian Okwara got back back in the play and made the sack.
And props to the secondary for staying attached, and because he was in the pocket making moves, making things happen for 4, 5, 6 seconds.
Yes.
And the secondary stayed attached, so he didn't have the ability to push the ball down the field.
Usually when secondaries have to cover for that long, somebody runs open. And I don't know if maybe one Bears player was open enough, but it didn't matter because Julian Okwara got to Justin Fields quick enough.
Yeah, got back up and made it happen.
It was amazing. And honestly, I don't know about you, The one thing about that game that was a little bit different for me is once the Lions did take the lead 31-30, I actually thought that I thought they might get a stop, because the one thing about Justin Fields is how he's being used right now is just like, Justin Fields, go save us, go make a play. There's not a lot of like rhythm to their passing game.
That's true.
But to the Lions' credit, they did it. They sacked Justin Fields twice on one drive.
It is impressive. And I agree with you. He's playing a lot of hero ball. Yeah. They're asking him to do a lot. And they had a lot of chances to kind of put the dagger in the Lions.
Yep.
And it didn't work out. And speaking of daggers, Wilbur, I know you're a big Matt Patricia fan. You said he's the best coach in Lions history.
He was on his way, dude.
But tell us about that. Do you think that's a fluke? Can we expect the Lions to maybe Jeff Daniels and Peyton Manning exercise the curse of Bobby Lane, and we're gonna win games like that. We're gonna get plays like that to go the Lions' way. Do you think that is true, or do you think it was just kind of a fluke and we won't be seeing that too much?
It's tough, dude, because like you guys said, like, how many times have we seen Lions lose games like that?
Yes.
And like realizing that, it makes me realize the same thing as you said last week, Spinny, or maybe it was like earlier this week, dude. You were like, a lot of games in the NFL are one-score games. They're close games. And, like, yeah, one could say it's a fluke, but, like, honestly, we've seen Lions lose countless games like that. It just happens. It's the way the league goes. Like, a lot of these leagues, the games are closer than you think. It's one of the reasons I personally like NFL better than college, although a lot of people say, like, the opposite, is, like, there's more parity, I guess. I'm saying, like, teams are more equivalent to each other versus, like, college football. If Michigan State's playing freaking Omaha, whatever the hell college, they're gonna blow them out. I don't know how it happened, dude. But honestly, I think games are a lot closer than people realize. Like, you look at the Lions' losses, like you said, Bears look like the Lions and they end up losing. Games are close like that in the NFL. So, like, a bit of a fluke, yeah, you could say that, but that's just how the NFL goes. I mean, look at the Monday night game, with the Commanders beat the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. Some fluky stuff happened in that game for that to take place, and that's just how this league goes. That's why it's so exciting to watch sometimes, dude.
That's for sure. And
yeah.
I kind of want to get this from Chris's perspective, because as you've been a Detroit sports fan your whole life. You've admitted you hadn't really followed football too closely, so you might not have had the same kind of feelings of just pure existential dread that most Lions fans had when those situations were. How were you feeling in those last couple minutes against the Bears? Were you like, all right, they can do it? Or were you like, no, this is the Lions, they're going to line this up?
I was kind of the camp of the Lions are going to Lions, because that was the perspective from an outside fan. Like, of course, I rooted for all Detroit sports. I mainly just followed basketball, but I rooted for every team, every Detroit team to be great. But I would continuously watch the games I did watch with the Lions. I'd hear my uncles or my dad or my brother, same old Lions, same old Lions. So, like, I grew up with that was, like, the culture from the outside perspective. So for me, it wasn't as much pain attached to it, but I still expected the same outcome that you guys did watching the game, and that's kind of always been the thing. So I'd love to be able to, by the time I have kids, for them to be like, what is same old Lions?
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good point. And I do want to make it a point. What'd you say, Wilbur?
When the Lions lose, my dad just hits the dog and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel Sauce's pain when his dad and his uncle are hitting his dog.
Stanky burgers.
Yeah.
Smelling burgers.
You smell those burgers? Yeah, I agree. And I do want to make the point, too, that as good as that victory felt, as good it was to see the Lions crawl out of that hole, they cannot make a point to getting down by 14 going into the fourth quarter. No. They cannot expect that same result, especially playing better teams, especially playing this week a running back in Saquon Barkley, who, David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert are fine backs.
Yep.
They're not Saquon Barkley.
No.
If you have a 14-point lead as the Giants in the fourth quarter, all you got to do is give Saquon the rock 3 plays in a row, every 3 plays, and run that clock out. And I like what Eberflus is doing in Chicago, but Brian Daboll is a better coach. Brian Daboll is a better play caller. Brian Daboll runs a better offense. So they cannot make it a point to getting down 14 points in the fourth quarter.
No, absolutely not, because the Giants are one of those teams that can play that 4-minute offense. Just give it to Saquon 3 times in a row, first down, bleed the clock. Daniel Jones, keep it a couple of times, bleed the clock.
Yes.
Because Brian Daboll, he has to get a lot of credit for the resurgence of Saquon Barkley and for Daniel Jones using his legs more effectively than he ever has, because Brian Daboll, He was the guy who was the offensive coordinator for Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And you can see it. You can see it with how he's using Daniel Jones. You can see.
Are you saying Daniel Jones is Josh Allen 2.0? I'm sorry.
I am not saying
that's
that.
a Neil rule.
That is exactly what it is. But Daniel Jones has mobility that is similar to Josh Allen. He just can't throw it anywhere near him. And the running scheme that Saquon Barkley is taking advantage of, the moral of the story is you cannot get down to this team because they will bleed the clock. They will kill you on the ground, and that is just so demoralizing as a defense.
I agree with that. I like that you're right. He's using Daniel Jones in a similar way.
Yes.
He's a big athletic guy like Josh Allen. He just doesn't nearly have the arm.
No.
But he has similar legs, similar speed, similar build. So, yeah, I can see that. But first, if you want to get big like Josh Allen, all you got to do is go to Planet Fitness. Because Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone, where they work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. The gym that has always been known for being clean is now cleaner than ever, has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of this for just $10 a month. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Thanksgiving is all about family and friends. That's why Woodward Sports wants to send you and your crew front row for the Thanksgiving Day football game.
Easy there. Hey, it's Thanksgiving. Shouldn't you be in Detroit losing a football game right now?
That's right, you and 3 people that you're thankful for sitting in row number 1. So close you can hear the action, smell the excitement, and taste the glory of Detroit football. All you have to do to enter is retweet or share our post on Twitter and IG and tag 3 of your friends or family. If all 3 of those people are following Woodward Sports too, and we pick your name, you and your crew will all get the best seats inside Ford Field. So hop on Twitter and Instagram and tag your crew. And we'll see you Thanksgiving Day at Ford Field. Brought to you by Lady Jane's and Custom Health Centers.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, Allen! Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
At Alta,
Uptime
matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. Do you have a bog project coming up? Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's at 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights. We appreciate you all for joining us on WoodwardSports.com. I am Spencer Raxter. The man to my left is the notorious Flannel Sam. We have Chris Platty in the TD booth and our boy Wilbur on the ones and twos doing a good job. Throw the cam on Wilbur. He's jamming out in there. Look at him go. All right. Take it off him. He's pretty ugly. But we have some good comments in the Woodward Sports chat, as always. MPWMU says, Wilbur hangs out in the Planet Fitness locker room.
I stopped doing that, Mom.
We have Sapper18 saying, dude looking like he wants to join a Korean boy band. One young sus. That's a bar.
Sounds pretty
He does look
cancelable.
like he looks like he's a backup for what's it, B5 or BTS?
Yeah.
PTSD.
You look like you're a backup
PTS.
dancer for BTS. That's a good one. Oh man, that is beautiful. But we've been talking a lot of Lions so far on this, and I promise you we're gonna get a Pistons topic in. We're gonna get a Red Wings topic in before they battle with the Sharks. But I want to keep going with the Lions right now because we saw some interesting stuff. Tom Pelissero, a very respected NFL journalist, wrote an article about who he thinks would be the top candidates for head coaching vacancies in the NFL at the end of the season. And he had something to say about a Detroit Lions staff member named Ben Johnson. Can you throw that up for me, young Christopher? Because Ben Johnson, you guys killed us for saying this, but this is someone outside of Detroit saying this. Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he's basically saying the people that have worked with Ben Johnson call him one of the NFL's sharpest minds. So it doesn't go to surprise that the Lions offense found life after he took over. Ben Johnson has worked as a quarterback coach, a tight ends coach, and a wide receiver coach. So he has a deep understanding of how offense works in the NFL.
Nice and deep.
And they're saying it's not really, you can't make sense that he get it after his first year as a coordinator. But earlier in the article, he talked about that the McVay effect.
Yep.
The McDaniels effect. The LaFleur effect, the Shanahan effect, where you want these young, explosive, innovative, offensive minds. And this is something that Detroit fans and Detroit media have been saying. They're scared to lose Ben Johnson. I personally am scared to lose Ben Johnson because I don't know how that offense will look without him. And although I don't think he's going to get a job next year, I think that'll be a little too soon. It's going to happen sooner or later if he continues this. How would this Detroit Lions offense look without Ben Johnson?
Oh, boy. Do you want me to get really, really dark?
I do.
I'm talking like in the dungeon dark.
Yeah, I'm talking like Wilbur in middle school dark.
Absolutely. The Lions are a winless football team last year. They're an absolute winless football team. Jared Goff has one of the single worst seasons any NFL quarterback has ever had.
Wow.
Amon-Ra St. Brown never becomes Amon-Ra St. Brown because it was Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown. They really took off after Ben Johnson took over for being the passing game coordinator, and that's continued at least with Amon-Ra and somewhat with Jared Goff coming into the season. Josh Reynolds, does he ever get signed? Does he ever make a contribution? I don't know. I don't think so. And you never know what this Lions team is doing now coming off of a winless season. Dan Campbell is probably fired by now because what have I said about Dan Campbell? I haven't always been the biggest fan.
Yes.
But his single greatest decision by a country mile was demoting Anthony Lynn and promoting Ben Johnson because after that the offense has completely taken off and now this looks like a team that has some hope for the future. So without Ben Johnson, I mean, I don't even want to think about that. This is a team that is, I mean, like no, Amon-Ra's not really a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff, he might not even be on the team, which I'm sure like you might be.
That'd be cool. I'm cool with that.
Because he wouldn't have deserved it. But at least it's nice to know that this offense, even with Jared Goff, with Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds, Jamal Williams, or DeAndre Swift, it's good to know that at least Ben Johnson can sort of unlock a team that that has a top 10 ranked scoring offense. So without him, it would be one of the single worst stretches of football in NFL history. They would have been 0-15-1 last year, and then possibly starting the year something like 1-7, 1-8. And I really believe that's how important Ben Johnson has been.
Damn. Wilbur, I know you're a big Ben Johnson guy. How do you think that this team would look without him in the reins?
A lot like worse haircuts going on around the team, personally, if I'm being honest with you guys. But to be honest with you, like everything that Flannel Sam said is true. I mean, pretty much. I know that Jared Goff carries the offense. Like I don't understand like why people are talking about Ben Johnson like this highly of him when it's all Jared Goff. Truthfully, like this team would be nothing without Jared Goff. For being quite honest, like game-winning drives, they've won 6 games the past 2 years. He's the GOAT. Clearly, but no, I think I've heard Easy said this before. Like you look at the McVays, you look at all these young coaches around the league, the Shanahans, like they're establishing their own coaching trees based off like their philosophies of offense and stuff like that. Dan Campbell doesn't have that. He's just like a grit dude who's like there to motivate the players and assignments and it would be the final executioner on the game plan and stuff like that. And as much as like I love to root for him because he reminds me of my Uncle Stanley, kind of, it's just not. Like the dude, if we're being honest. You know what I'm saying? He's just not.
Yeah. So you would like to see Ben Johnson in the head coaching position? We've done this before. If you, right now, a team wanted Ben Johnson, and the only way you could keep him was fire Dan Campbell and make him the head coach, would you do it?
Man, soft spot. He's been around the team for a while. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like he doesn't have rapport with the guys on the team. He was the tight end coach before he was the offensive coordinator, and he was the tight end coach when Matt Patricia was here, the greatest Lions coach of all time. And yeah, I don't think it'd be far-fetched. Like, I think you'd have to find the excuse to fire Campbell. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe catch him in a downward dog with like one of the yoga girls or something. So like, just keep cameras in there and stuff. But yeah, I mean, for sure, if you want this team to succeed long term, you're gonna need somebody with an actual philosophy and game plan to executing it. And Ben Johnson's that dude.
Thank you, Wilbur.
PJs all day, dude.
Thank you, Wilbur.
Plant Fitness bathroom, come find me. What?
Oh my God, Flannel. Well, same question to you. If the only way you could keep Ben Johnson was to fire Dan Campbell and promote him to head coach, would you do it?
Yes, I would. And for the record, Dan Campbell has showed me something in these last couple of games.
He has.
But at the same time, it's the way the league is going. And the problem with Dan Campbell, too, is he came in not really as a specialist.
Yes.
I want a guy who specializes in one side of the ball, particularly offense. And we didn't even get to Zach Taylor, helped get the Cincinnati Bengals to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's a good point.
How's Tua looking under Mike McDaniel?
Pretty damn good.
How are the Vikings doing under Kevin O'Connell?
Pretty damn good.
I want a young, innovative offensive mind as the head coach. And Dan Campbell, to me, he's already done enough to show that he at least has been, for the most part, incompetent. Has he improved? Absolutely. But you're asking if like it was either Ben Johnson goes to another team or he's the head coach, I would say Ben Johnson head coach.
Yeah, I agree. It's tough. I like Dan Campbell. I like what he brings to the table. I do think that your head coach doesn't really need to be that guy. If you have coordinators in place, if you have a Ben Johnson and an Aaron Glenn in place, guys that can run the defense and run the offense, a head coach can be a leader of men, a rah-rah guy, someone to pump up the troops, someone to get people going. But losing Ben Johnson would be tough because that is the one thing that has kept us sane as Lions fans, that has kept the Detroit Lions in games.
Yes.
Is that offense that is being created, structured, and built by Ben Johnson.
Absolutely. I mean, and you look at the team as a whole this year. Did the Lions offense play well enough to win against the Seahawks?
They did.
Did they play well enough to win against the Eagles?
They did.
Did they play well enough to win against the Dolphins?
They did.
Did they play well enough to win against the Vikings?
They did.
And that is in large part due to Ben Johnson. They didn't make some crazy upgrades in the offseason. I mean, the offensive line was still great, still had Penei Sewell last year. I know they had some injuries to Decker and Ragnow. DeAndre Swift was still there. Jamal Williams was still there. Amon-Ra St. Brown was still there.
Yeah.
Those are some of your key pieces that just took off when Ben Johnson took over.
For sure.
And that's what I'm saying. The offense is the strength of this team. And just one more point. I'm not saying that I want Dan Campbell to be fired right now.
Sounds like it, dude. Sounds like it.
Yeah, right? You're asking the hypothetical of if your only choices are losing Ben Johnson or him being the head coach. Ben Johnson is just so damn valuable. I would argue he's one of the most valuable coordinators in the NFL.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Dude.
You know, a lot of the more valuable people in the NFL are head coaches nowadays.
Yes.
So, like we've already talked about a McVay, a Shanahan, a McDaniels. You talked about I can't remember his name from the Bengals.
Zach Taylor.
Yeah, there's a lot of head coach. Eberflus, Dable. Like,
Yes.
look at what these guys are doing.
Good examples.
So it's important. You're right, and he is probably one of the more important coordinators in the NFL. But you look at your point about Amon-Ra St. Brown not being Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think was kind of glanced over. But it's true. Like, look at what Amon-Ra St. Brown did when Anthony Lynn was the coordinator compared to when Ben Johnson was. And Ben Johnson is the guy that's like, all right, we got a dude here. Like this kid's going to be a stud. Let's get him the ball. And they started doing it, and now he's blossomed into, you know, arguably a top 15 receiver in the NFL.
I mean, at the beginning of last year, what were your thoughts on Amon-Ra St. Brown? He could be nice for a fourth-round pick. At the end of the year, you're like, if you kind of juxtapose these numbers over a full season, this is a Pro Bowler. This is an all-pro player.
Yeah.
And then he's carried that on into this year when he's been healthy. Amon-Ra St. Brown has been, in my opinion, besides the offensive line, well, the most valuable skill position player for the Detroit Lions. And he is a star. This guy is going to make multiple Pro Bowls.
I agree. And he doesn't give any freebies. Everything he does, he works for, and he gets the returns because of it. But if you want a freebie, all you got to do is go to Big Frog in Novi, because all month long, Big Frog in Novi is giving out free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. You just got to go into Big Frog Novi, tell them we sent you, and they will print you out one on the spot. So visit them in Novi or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries, what will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the three biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Downtown Detroit is all decked out this holiday season with the return of the Cadillac Lodge and the Monroe Street Midway. The Midway has a giant slide, winter bumper cars, and an indoor arcade. Plus, you can grab drinks at the Lodge before or after games. Shop, eat, and play downtown all winter long with DeckedOutDetroit.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Woodward Heavyweights, live and only live on WoodwardSports.com. I am Spencer Raxter. He is Flannel Sam. We have Chris Platty holding it down in the TD booth, and our stupid intern, Wilbur Jackson, on the ones and twos. He's getting his calisthenics in. But we've been talking Lions for a while. Dude, don't break anything in there, Wilbur. You're still on a day-to-day basis. We've been talking Lions for a while. I think it's time to get into a little Pistons talk, a little Pistons basketball talk. Obviously, the season for the Detroit Pistons has not been great, to put it lightly. They have 3 wins on the season so far. They're playing some pretty bad basketball, and right now they are without Cade Cunningham and Isaiah Stewart, who have probably been their 2 best players outside of Bojan Bogdanovic on the season. And we are trying to look over what their roster would shake down to be without those 2 in there. Yeah. Starting tonight, I'm thinking what I have written down, I'm looking at Jaden Ivey at the 1, obviously. I think Alec Burks gets injected into that starting lineup. You need his shooting. You need his space creation, his floor spacing, his ability to knock down three-point shots and get his own baskets. And then I have Bojan, obviously, at the 3. Again, spaces the floor, does a lot of things well. And then I'm going Bagley and Duren at the 4 and 5. I really am. I need to see Duren out there. I need it. I need it from something. I need it in my blood. I want to see Duren out there. The kid's special. He's one of the best rebounders in the league already. Give him his run, and let's see how it works out. Chris, we'll get into you very soon, but I want to hear Sam Flannel's take first. Sam Flannel, what are you feeling about that?
I promise I didn't steal your notes.
Okay.
But that would be my starting 5
Let's go!
as well. It feels really good that you have that as your starting 5, because I will fully admit I do not know the X's and O's of basketball as well as you, Spencer, or Chris. But to me, you got Jaden Ivey. He's a guy who can be a playmaker, who can handle the ball. He's obviously had a damn good rookie year.
Yeah.
And then Alec Burks coming back and being inserted into the starting lineup. It gives you a veteran guy. It gives you a guy who can shoot and can space the floor.
Very
and then
fair.
at the 3, you got to put Bojan Bogdanovic in, because he is the only player on this entire team that has shot the ball consistently well.
Mhm.
He's basically a 50 and 40 guy. That's unbelievable, 20 points a game. That is exactly what we brought him here for,
Amen.
and he has delivered. And then Bagley and Duren. I know Chris kind of, I think, will maybe doubt the X's and O's of it all, but it has to work. You know why?
Why?
Because those are the two best big men you got right now.
That's a very good
Jalen
point.
Duren he's been their best defender as a center, as a rim protector, as a rebounder, as a guy who can score, who can play in the paint. I mean, we always mention that turnaround jumper. And then you have Marvin Bagley, a guy who I'd like to see Jaden Ivey and Marvin Bagley pick and roll. And when he came to the Pistons last year, I feel like that was a bit of a reclamation project. I think he's a guy that can play well off of a guard. And I think what he does well and what Jalen Duren do well at this stage in their career, they're very, very complementary.
Yes.
And now, Chris Platty, after we have the exact same starting five, what do you think? Who's your starting five?
To be the starting five.
Yeah,
that has
Let's
to
go.
be the starting five. You know, I'm against the Bagley Duren, not any knock on either player, but again, what I said yesterday is just fit wise. You want them to be more complementary of each other as opposed to
We saw Bagley
redundant.
knock down a 3 in the last game.
Yeah, I mean he can, but how often do you want Bagley on the
Bagley.
3-point line?
That's very- that's a good point.
that's the thing. But honestly, man, can the Pistons just hire Tom Thibodeau for like a week and just play the starters 48 minutes? Because I don't want to go to that bench.
Yes.
You're talking of a bench outside of Sadiq Bey, of Killian, Corey Joseph, maybe the remains of Nerlens Noel. Like it gets really, really tough really fast. I mean, we talked about the bench being a struggle at the start of the season, but now it's like,
You think Braxton Key gets some playing time?
he's a body. He has to get playing time.
That's fair.
I mean, yeah, like Isaiah Livers, I don't even want to say the return of Kevin Knox, but
The return of Kevin Knox
Jesus.
playing the 5. Kevin Knox was playing the 5
Return of the Mac.
against the Cavs. He was playing the 5, guarding Jared Allen.
Oh my God, this is just so disheartening. Like, I really do want Dwayne Casey. I don't care. Like, health and safety be damned. Play these guys 48 minutes or like 46 minutes at the lowest.
I feel you, honestly. It's if Jalen Duren gets into foul trouble, like I mean, you can
4 on 5. 4 on 5.
You can move Bagley to 5 and put Sadiq in, but man, we're getting real thin at that big man position.
Yeah.
Wilbur, I know you're a Pistons fan,
Yeah.
and I know you love some Jaden Ivey. You think he's going to be the best player in the league.
Ivy's the best.
Yeah, so you obviously think Ben Mathurin sucks, and you love Jaden Ivey.
It's all the hair.
But what do you think about this new lineup? Do you think they can do anything to make it work?
Yeah, I think Jaden Ivey has great bone structure, and he's just really great.
Speak up, kid.
Sorry, dude. No, I agree with you guys. I'm with your guys' starting lineup. And like, if we all 4 agree, then Dwayne Casey should do it. Honest to God, it's not easy speaking right now. But if he doesn't, you're out of here. You feel me? If being quite honest with you, it's like one other person that tried out for the Pistons and during the off season. It's called Basketball Sam. It's just like an alter ego Flannel Sam. We actually have a photo of him.
We do have a photo of him.
If we just throw that one up there, I really think like if you just put him at like small forward,
He can be
things are
the
just
secret
gonna get
weapon.
done.
Yeah.
That's what you say. Look at this guy, dude. He's got it, dude. This Basketball Sam character can hoop.
As long as he's got the flannel shooting sleeve.
Yeah, that'd be fired.
That
dude.
would be fired.
Might be against league rules, but be fired.
It would be fired. Just put a Nike swoosh on it and they'll be fine.
That's fair.
They're sellouts.
Basketball
But
Sam.
how do you
That's
feel
a big
about that?
thing.
You think you can give
Shout out to Ike King Horse for Basketball Sam pick, by the way.
Shout out to Ike King Horse for the Basketball Sam pick. Dude, that is amazing. You think you can give the Pistons some minutes at shooting guard?
Oh boy. My rec league shot is streaky at best.
Okay.
I'm one of those guys, and I think we've all been around them where like I might make a 3, and then people are just like, "Oh, this guy's a shooter," and it's like, not really.
No, not
really. just very streaky. And to kind of add to a little bit of the Detroit Pistons depression, and I hate to do it, and I'm curious to see what you guys think.
Oh God.
I thought before, like, if you told me before the season that Sadiq Bey is your 6th man, I would be like, that's great.
Yes.
But Sadiq Bey, he's teetering with me because he has regressed. His 3-point shooting percentage is actually managed to be. It's gotten worse every year he's played.
Yeah.
And that concerns me because Saddiq Bey is one of those guys that you could count on. You thought you could count on to shoot threes, play defense. He's not having a very good year.
He is not. He's not having a very good year. Like you said, he was the guy that you could at least rely on and be like, yeah, he'll knock down open shots. He'll hit open shots. So his ISO game has improved this year, but other than that, his shooting is down. His defense is almost non-existent. You can't have him and Bogdanovich on the court at the same time because they are just forwards nightmares. Like if you have a 3 and 4 on the other team that is somewhat decent at scoring the basketball, and they're going up against Bojan and Saddiq, they're putting up 40. So it's tough to have them on the floor at the same time, and you bring in a guy like Bojan who's basically just big brother to Saddiq. Like he does everything that Saddiq does well, but better.
Yeah.
What's up, Wilbur?
I'm hearing from like the Woodward Sports chat. Sapper18 says that the basketball Sam guy has the slasher badge for sure.
Slasher badge.
The slasher badge. Yeah.
No, hold on. Let me shoot my guy Flail Sam some bail here because he may not have a jump shot, but look at this. His second bounce is crazy. This guy is grabbing every single rebound when it comes off the rim. Look at that. He's getting a double-double in one quarter.
Oh, man. I appreciate that, Chris. And I would love to say that I do have bounce. I'll tell you what, though. I'm 6'2", and I've never been able to dunk. I know, Chris, you probably can dunk, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can you dunk?
If there's conditions. If there's no wind, if it's a breakaway, and I'm allowed to travel, I could absolutely boom shakalaka rim grades.
Boom shakalaka rim grades.
Chris, I'm kind of curious to what you have to say about Saddiq Bey because I'm kind of ready to. I wouldn't say give up, but I have some major concerns that I didn't think I was going to have thus far this season.
Yeah, when I did the fast break, like that was the question I came up with is Bey versus Stewart. Who would you rather have? And honestly, both of them this year, I've gotten more down on them, just in terms of what their ceiling is. Because, I mean, coming into this season, I heard people at this network talk about Saddiq Bey as if he's Jaylen Brown or can be Jaylen Brown. And right now, he's not even looking like Robert Covington. And this is... It's tough. I would say I want to believe in Saddiq Bey just because, again, he has the skill set in the frame and everything that you need to be a two-way wing, a 3-and-D player, which is more valuable than what I think Isaiah Stewart can be ceiling-wise. But yeah, I'm absolutely concerned. He's always been streaky, but this year he's trending down, and I don't know if it's just the young guys are just not clicking right now or what, but there really shouldn't be a reason that his jump shooting should be down. He has more space. He has more better playmakers around him than he ever has in his first 3 years in Detroit. So there's really no reason his shooting in particular should be down.
I agree. And if you want to dive in and try to dissect why Saddiq Bey's shooting has taken a dip, you might drive yourself crazy. And if you do, we've got the place for you. And that's the Sports Marketing Agency, because the Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com to get the help you deserve.
Thanksgiving is all about family and friends. That's why Woodward Sports wants to send you and your crew front row for the Thanksgiving Day football game.
Easy there. Hey, it's Thanksgiving. Shouldn't you be in Detroit losing a football game right now?
That's right, you and 3 people that you're thankful for sitting in row number 1. So close you can hear the action, smell the excitement, and taste the glory of Detroit football. All you have to do to enter is retweet or share our post on Twitter and IG, and tag 3 of your friends or family. If all 3 of those people are following Woodward Sports too, and we pick your name, you and your crew will all get the best seats inside Ford Field. So hop on Twitter and Instagram and tag your crew. And we'll see you Thanksgiving Day at Ford Field. Brought to you by Lady Jane's and Custom Health Centers.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, Allen! Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck. You know it, you've heard of it. It's the home of the original football bowling pig game called Foaling. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play as well as private lane reservation for $120. If you get thirsty, they've got a $2 mystery beer vending machine as well as multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So make sure you come check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for joining us on another episode of Woodward Heavyweights, only on woodwardsports.com. I am Spencer Axter. He is the one and only Flannel Sam. We've got Chris Platty in the TD booth, and we've got our QB1, Wilbur Jackson. Is that signed by Braylon Edwards? Is that Braylon Edwards autographed football?
I don't know. Sounds like someone with awful hair.
Wilbur Jackson, QB1, on the ones and twos. We just got done talking about the Pistons and what we think they're going to do with their lineup. Now, let's get into the Red Wings. The Red Wings are struggling, to put it nicely. They are playing, again, another team that they should beat tonight in the San Jose Sharks, a team that started out terribly out of the gate. They've picked up some wins since then, but they are still a team that the Red Wings should beat. I think, I'm looking at this, I wrote it down, this is a tryout for Erik Karlsson. Erik Karlsson was made available by the San Jose Sharks, and I want the Red Wings to do everything in their power to go get this guy. This guy is one of the best defensemen in the league. He's one of the best scoring defensemen in the league, and the Red Wings could do a lot with him on the line. Him and Mo Seider as the first pairing with Ben Sherratt and Hogg or whoever you have in that second pairing, because I'm assuming they'd have to give up Hronek and a couple other pieces to get a guy like Erik Karlsson, would be amazing. That would be someone I would love to see in the winged wheel. But the Red Wings are going to need to win this game. They're really going to need to win this game. They've come off a couple bad losses against teams that they should have beat. This is another team you should have beat, or you should beat. And the Red Wings need to go in there and get 2 points out of this. Sam Flannel, how do you feel?
Yeah, they absolutely need to go in and get 2 points. I like the Karlsson angle because the one thing that the Red Wings defensemen, like even Mo Seider, haven't done very well this year is score.
Yes.
And Karlsson offers you that, obviously. And yeah, that game last night, that I wouldn't say it broke me, but I remember going after that really strong start. I was excited about the Red Wings. They were the team that actually got off to a hot start. They didn't just implode right off the gate like all the other teams have. Mm-hmm. But they're on a 4-game losing streak.
Yes, they are.
I know 2 of those are overtime losses, which means they get a point. But last night at Anaheim, you cannot drop that game. Anaheim is not a good team.
Yes, they're a terrible team.
I mean, Tyler Bertuzzi's back. Obviously, that was his first game back. He's got to sort of get his, hockey legs under him. But that power play, man, that freaking power play.
Yeah.
What do good teams do? What do great teams do? They score on power plays.
The power play.
And what have the Red Wings struggled with? What did they struggle with last night? What did they struggle with against Montreal?
Yeah, scoring on the power play.
Because
it's wild because they started off very, very good.
Yes.
The power play started off clicking. They were making shots. You saw the effect of David Perron in that lineup. He was helping that power play buzz, and like you said, they've kind of just ran into a wall recently.
Yep. And another thing that really concerns me about this team, they've given up 8 goals twice. I know that sounds like everybody has a clunker or two, but that reminds me a little bit too much of last year.
Yeah.
Is this team better? Clearly, they're a better team.
Mm-hmm.
But the implosions.
It's tough. It's tough to overcome an 8 goals like that burns on you for a while.
Yes.
And Terry Foster said it today. He was like, I don't want to scare you guys, but they have the same goal differential as the Red Wings last year through this many games. And we got to remember that the Red Wings last year got off to a good start.
Yeah.
They did. They completely imploded.
Yes.
But they got off to a good start, and that's what. But I think the difference is the additions. It is the veteran presence that he brought in with a Sherratt, with a Perron, with a Hogg, with a Mata. Even though Mata's not that much of a veteran, he's still been in places and knows what to do, knows what winning franchises look like. So he's not those players, especially Sherratt and Perron. Jesus. Perrott, Sharon. I'm just mixing them together like Wilbur and some other idiot we know. But
Wilbur the wagon.
Sherratt and Perron are not going to let that happen. They know how you need to win in that.
Absolutely. And Sherratt and Perron, I think they've delivered.
Yes.
Dominic Kubalik has obviously blown away his expectations.
For sure.
Dylan Larkin has played really well. But the one guy that I feel like has gotten lost in the shuffle that has been out due to, I believe, like mental health issues, Jacob Vrana.
Yes.
He was the guy that a lot of us said would lead the team in scoring. And I feel like he's a guy that is sorely missed too. And I don't want to be super alarmist or anything. If the Red Wings go winless, I mean, they already have a point, but if they go winless on this West Coast trip, that's one of those examples of like, you can't win it early on, but you can do a hell of a lot to lose it. And one of the worst things you can do as an NHL team or even an NBA team and an MLB team is just go on the West Coast and get destroyed. And so far, that's basically what the Red Wings are doing. I mean, they got a point last night, but that was at Anaheim. That's a team that you should beat. San Jose, this is a team that the Red Wings should go in and win. Do I think they will? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. They've dropped a couple of games that they should get 2 points.
Yeah.
They got 1 in both of those games, but you got to get 2. And when you start out so fast, you know with a team with some young players and some veterans, there's going to go through lulls.
Yes.
That's why the Montreal game that's why that hurts so bad for me, because it's like, man, you could have gotten off to a really hot start where you could withstand a cold spell like this.
Yeah.
But if they lose these next 2, if they get no points, I wouldn't say sound the alarm, but we got to put a moratorium on any playoff talk.
I agree. You look at it and you look at even just their division. Obviously,
loaded.
you know, the Bruins are on an insane streak. They've got 14 wins already. They've only lost 2 games. But you've got the Bruins, you've got the Maple Leafs, you've got the Panthers, you've got the Lightning. Like these are playoff perennial contenders. These are the big boys, the big dogs that are always there, and that's just in your division. You look at the Metropolitan, you got the Devils winning 13 games. You have the Islanders with 11 wins. You have the Hurricanes that are playing well and that have played well the past couple of years. And then the Rangers that are kind of scuffling. Even the Capitals only have 7 wins. You think they're going to bounce back.
You do.
You think the Penguins are going to come out of this
100%.
eventually. So the Red Wings are going to need to take advantage of this, take advantage of the Capitals and the Penguins not getting off the hot starts. And like you said, they need to win. You can't lose a game against Montreal. You can't lose a game against Anaheim if you want to stay in front of the Capitals, if you want to stay in front of the Penguins when they eventually make their push, because you're not going to get past the Bruins, Maple Leafs, Panthers, Lightning. Those are probably the 4 best teams in the conference, and they're all in your division. And then you have surprise teams like the Devils going crazy. The Rangers are playing well. It's tough. The Red Wings can't give up points like that. They really can't. They can't afford to do it, because as much as we think they can they're not going to outlast those teams.
No.
You're not going to outlast the Capitals. You're not going to outlast the Penguins. You need to jump in front of them now while you can, while they're struggling, kind of put your foot on their throat. And right now they're not doing that. They're giving away points. And right now they need 2 points tonight. I'm not going to say it's a must win, but it's a must win.
Yeah.
You need to get 2 points out of this game.
I mean, you can't implode on the West.
Yes.
If you're a team like the Red Wings that actually has playoff aspirations for real, you cannot implode on the West. If they can get one of these next 2 games, you got a 5-game homestand coming up where you can maybe get right. And you mentioned Boston. Coming into the season, I was thinking maybe Boston is a team that the Red Wings can jump.
Yes.
Well, that's not going to happen.
No.
The Devils. I'm not going to say they came out of nowhere, but 13 wins already. They're one of the best teams in the NHL.
Yeah.
Who would have thought it? And
26 points.
These are teams that I don't think we as Red Wings fans counted on being such formidable foes coming into the year, and they're in the East.
Yeah.
The Red Wings. The East.
Devils are on a 10-game win streak.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping at some point that a Detroit team like the Red Wings can surprise people like the Devils have. And I know the Devils have a talented roster. I mean, Jack Hughes, he's showing why he was the generational talented player, but 13 wins already.
That's pretty wild.
And the Red Wings are in serious danger of imploding.
They are. And I know, Wilbur, I know you're a huge hockey buff. Like, you know every player, every team, all of their stats.
Yeah.
What is so dangerous about this Sharks lineup that the Red Wings are going to play tonight?
Dude, can a shark swim with a piranha? That's all you got to ask yourself. Can a shark swim in the waters with a piranha or a piranha? Answer's no, dude. Lineup, not dangerous. Red Wings win 6-2.
6-2.
Bertuzzi comes back. He was a little rusty. He took an OT in the last game. I know it's a poopy team they're going against, but, like, dude, like, you just can't blame Jared Goff for that kind of stuff. Like, Bertuzzi's going to come back, and he's going to kill it, dude. Kill it, dude.
I feel that. Yeah. Hopefully Bertuzzi can make some plays in this game. Like I said, the Sharks are not a good team this year. They are not, flat out. Neither are the Ducks. So I don't know if they need those veterans and the voices of the locker room to step up and kind of be like, all right, guys, if you want to be a good team, you got to beat the bad ones. And right now we're not.
And this game, it's actually a very big game from this perspective too. If you'd have gone into these last two games and said, if you can get 3 points in these two, would you take it? I probably would.
Oh, 100%.
And you still have a chance to go do it. So Red Wings, go out and win this game. It's a big game.
Go out and win this game, and then trade for Erik Karlsson tomorrow.
Yes.
Go out and do it, dudes.
I second that, by the way.
But if you want a haircut, there's only one decision you got to make, and that's Lady Jane's. You can come into Lady Jane's for an award-winning experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment on your dream home up to $200,000. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, no appointment necessary, because at Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Dude, I King Horses. Sorry. Looking to buy or sell your home? Whether you're a player or a fan, helping you buy, sell, or invest is Michael Phillips' top priority. Being in the game for 23 years makes Mike the number one option for anyone. If you have real estate needs, call Michael Phillips at 313-403-0011. That's 313-403-0011. Michael Phillips, game on. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the last segment of another episode of the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. I am Spencer Axter. He is Flannel Sam, the Legend Killer. We have young Chris Platty holding it down in the TD booth, and our guy Wilbur Jackson getting limber on the ones and twos over there, making sure he's all stressed out and we're ready to go. And I just got to read this because I King Horse in the Woodward Sports chat saying, Carol Zaninga, please don't pronounce the last part of my name slowly.
Why? I don't get it.
Yeah, of course.
I don't get it. Why? I don't, like, why wouldn't you?
Calm down, Wilbur.
Why? Well, I don't get it.
You know, those probably fly around your neighborhood all the time. You probably use that all the time.
I don't get the joke, dude.
Wilbur.
What type of color commentary you have up there, dude?
Google it.
Google it. Yeah, Google it, Wilbur.
All right, Carol's.
But before we let you guys go, tonight's Thursday. Jesus, I hate you, Wilbur. We have Thursday Night Football on, and it's a pretty big game for the Lions.
Oh, yeah.
Not going to lie. You got Packers and Titans. King Henry versus Aaron Rodgers. We need the Titans to go out there and clobber them.
Yeah. I mean,
clobbering time, baby.
And this is a big game. And the Titans, they're sneaky. I thought coming into the season that they would fall off a little bit. I think the division is much weaker than we all thought they would be. But they're a team. They kind of play like the Giants do.
They do.
Because I know he's kind of done this quietly. Derrick Henry is nipping on Saquon Barkley's heels when it comes to the rushing title.
Yeah.
He is still.
When you say it, but sure.
Yeah. He is still one of the best running backs in the league and probably the most fun to watch. They're doing it with a running game and a defense and Ryan Tannehill just not screwing it up.
Yeah.
Which he doesn't always. Sometimes he does.
Sometimes he does.
But when we're talking about the Packers, you know how us as Lions fans, we're thinking like if we get another one, we have like a chance at maybe doing something.
Yeah.
So are the Packers.
For sure.
They got that win at 3-6 last week. And
Yeah.
now they have a very, very winnable game at home on Thursday Night Football with Aaron Rodgers seeming to have found a connection with Christian Watson, which should scare people.
That is scary.
Man, it's a very, very big game. To me, I actually think the Packers are going to win.
I do too.
I don't want to say it, but I think they're going to win because they still have Aaron Jones.
I
Aaron
agree.
Jones
and A.J. Dillon.
Yeah, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. But Aaron Jones especially, he's one of the best running backs in the NFC.
Yeah.
Kind of gets overlooked. But
Not as good as DeAndre Swift, though, right?
damn. No, that's fair. I have to own that one. I was very, very, very wrong.
I mean, if he was healthy, yeah.
But he hasn't been.
But he's not.
And that was what everyone told me. He's not going to be healthy. But the Titans, I think they can exploit.
You're so stubborn like your father did.
I think the Titans can exploit the Packers' run defense, which has been a little bit leaky, and they're bringing in probably the scariest man to tackle at the running back position ever.
Probably.
Nobody wants any part of him. So I do expect the Packers to win, but if Derrick Henry can maybe rush for like 150 yards or more, it's going to get real interesting.
Who's your favorite fantasy play for this Thursday? I know a lot of people don't like playing I personally don't like playing players on Thursday. Wilbur, I forgot your name. Wilbur, we were back there talking about how it can be kind of hit or miss on Thursday night.
Yeah,
and
Thursday night sucks.
Yeah, for me, I think it's got to be Derrick Henry, though.
Yeah.
It's Derrick Henry because look at what he did last week. He kind of, like you said, he kind of came back into being Derrick Henry. He kind of came back to being the king. And the Packers' defense hasn't been great at stopping the run.
Yep.
So I think Derrick Henry can go out there and he can go for 100+ and a touchdown at least.
No, I would say Derrick Henry as well. Derrick Henry is on one of those streaks where he is absolutely unstoppable.
Yeah.
He is one of the single most physically gifted running backs that we have ever seen. He's built like a defensive end, but runs like a 4-3-4-4.
He's a monster.
He's
a
an
very scary
absolute
human being.
monster. But I'm actually starting Aaron Jones tonight. Do you think that's a good play or bad play?
You can't not start Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
If you have Aaron Jones,
Yes.
you have to start him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he provides you something.
I think he'll get a touchdown. At
Yeah,
least.
yeah, and he can catch the ball coming out of the backfield.
He
And the
can.
Woodward Sports League is a PPR league, which helps. And he has been one of my most valuable fantasy players.
Yeah.
with
Me
number
too.
one being Patrick Mahomes, by the way. Just so you all know, I know you got a lot of guys. giving me
25 touchdowns
What's
already.
your record, dude?
Best. My record is 5-5. Not great. Not great.
I'm
but,
second,
but not
in
the worst.
division. Second in the division behind Adam.
What your record's what?
5-5.
I thought I played this out. I don't know if you guys heard it or not.
No, I didn't.
I just got a text from Easy, though, and he said last night he actually accepted the trade that he asked you guys about.
Okay.
And he said he did it just to, if it doesn't work out, he just wants to tell you all to suck a fat Wilbur.
Yeah, I mean, Wilbur, you might not
Me.
be as stupid as Easy, but you're still pretty stupid. 'Cause-
Where you going with this one, dude?
I don't know. I
Where you
just want to
going with this one,
insult you.
dude? No, he
But-
accepted the trade for Justin Fields, Devontae Adams, and Jerry Jeudy for Waddle, St. Brown, and Pickens.
Yeah, real quick, Wilbur, before we get out of here, what fantasy plays do you like for tonight?
Usually like a reverse cowgirl or like a downward dog. That's fancy play for me personally.
Downward dog is yoga.
That's what you think, Mike. You're going to experience a night out with Wilbur.
Well, that'll do it for today. We appreciate you all for tapping in and watching the Woodward Heavyweights. You know where to find us. That's woodwardsports.com. You know when we are. That's Monday through Friday from 5 to 7. For the man to my left, Flannel Sam, filling in and doing a great job as always. Chris Platty in the booth, holding it down. And that idiot Wilbur on the ones and twos. I am Spencer Raxter. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.